Hey everyone, just wanted to let you know that G Fuel just dropped a brand new flavor based around Castro. This is the new guava flavor. It's out right now, and code IMMORTAL will get you 10% off your order, whether you're picking up a collector's box, just a tub, or something entirely different. So if you're interested, check out the link down below. Anyways, on to today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, hey hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Yesterday we saw the 1.15 update go live here in Modern Warfare. And while it was a smaller title update, it actually included a lot of new changes and various pieces of content, like some weapon tuning, a brand new gunfight map, so on and so forth. But what's even crazier about the 1.15 update is all the secret changes it brought to the game that were never mentioned in the patch notes or made apparent in any other kind of way. So today we're breaking down a handful of secret changes and updates that you might have missed. But before we get into it, if you're new here, I am always covering the latest Call of Duty news and intel, so feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on to stay up to date with all of that. And of course, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Now, as I said, none of these changes today were directly addressed by anyone over at Infinity Ward. Why that is, I'm honestly not too sure. I would think if they were to change some pretty significant things, and as you'll see they did, they would want to mention them in some way or another, but alas, here we are. So the first hidden change that I noticed yesterday was actually an update to the main menu preview pictures, as each tab on the menu is now completely different from how it was at the start of the week. So as you guys can see, the campaign tab now features a preview of Captain Price, multiplayer features a handful of soldiers, co-op shows off a few of our operators including Ghost, and the store features a handful of tracer packs and other operator gear that, what do you know, we have featured in the store. Now, the classified tab also ended up changing as well, but this one is a lot more important, so we're going to revisit it a bit later on into the video as there is a larger discussion to be had on that one. But regardless, the entire main menu did receive a slight upgrade, not really the biggest or most important change in the world, but it is a secret change that was never mentioned nonetheless. Now, the next change that we've got for today can be found in the social tab on any platform, as Infinity Ward decided to rework the display of the Friends tab and the other various social categories we have available. Previously, it would show you all of your friends on one longer tab, but now the social tab is actually a bit more split up, and it only shows your friends who are online at the moment, with there being an option to toggle your friends that are offline. Then the Party, Regiment, and Recent Player tabs also changed as well to sort of mimic the Friends tab. So once again, it's not a super crazy change that's, ultimately going to rework the entire game as we know it, but it is yet another update that no one decided to mention in any patch notes. Then, getting into change number 3 for today, this one is actually a lot more important than the previous two, because this one really is game-changing, as we actually have a few completely new attachments that were added in under the radar. So if you were to head on into the gunsmith and select the Uzi SMG as your primary, you would see under the ammunition category that we now have the 4.1 AE 25 round mags, which end up increasing the damage and the range, at least according to the stat sheet. Then these rounds also decrease the fire rate, the aiming recoil control, and the overall ammo capacity. Now, from my understanding, the range increase here is hardly even noticeable. It is very, very minimal at best, but the damage increase is actually a thing, which I would say is pretty important, seeing as the Uzi is notoriously known as the weakest and worst SMG we have available. So to unlock these rounds, you do need to complete a brand new weapon challenge, and this one requires you to use the 50 round magazine attachment, and then get 3 hipfire kills in 5 different matches. So honestly nothing too crazy, and it can be done pretty quickly. However, the 4.1 AE rounds are not the only new attachment that was added in during the 1.15 patch, because the Uzi also has a brand new barrel option as well. Here we can see that there is now the option to use the FSS Orion barrel, and this increases the damage range, the bullet velocity, and also the recoil control, while decreasing the aim down sight speed and the overall movement speed. Now, I haven't actually been able to unlock this one because, well, it seems like the tracking for this challenge is not working as intended. To unlock the Orion barrel, you are supposed to use any of the 3 barrels we have available, alongside the Woodstock and also the new 41 AE rounds, and then get 2 long shot kills in 5 different matches. And I was trying to complete this one a few times on stream last night to no avail whatsoever. There were some games where I definitely got more than 2 long shots with all the required attachments, and I don't even have 1 out of the 5 matches completed, so that is a little unfortunate there. But as far as the stats go, these 2 attachments should, keyword should, make the Uzi a little bit more viable since its damage and range are pretty lackluster. Moving on though, we also have a very important change over in the Operators tab, as now we actually have the Operator missions tied to this section of the game instead of the Mission and Challenges section where they were previously located. So this means you can make progress on 2 challenges at the same time now, one from the Operators tab and another from the Missions tab, instead of having to pick and choose like we needed to before. I know a lot of players are probably going to be pretty excited about seeing this, as it just lets you be more productive overall. So this is certainly a positive change in my own opinion, and I'm glad to see it was made. But I am still confused as to why it was not mentioned in any patch notes. Now, let's talk about the classified section. This is something that I've been watching very closely ever since it first appeared on the main menu, because, well, the mystery surrounding it is pretty interesting. We all have our assumptions as to what this tab on the menu is for. We're pretty much all coming to the conclusion that it is the Warzone tab that will unlock whenever the mode finally releases, and various glitches have revealed it to be just that. But as of right now, it does still remain classified, and it doesn't really reveal all that much information whatsoever. However, the 1.15 update did add a little something extra to it, and that is some hidden text behind the actual classified barrier. So when you scroll over to the tab, you'll see a series of blue lines scroll down the face of it, and then some blue lettering will appear behind the classified text that's glitching out. Now, it's not the easiest thing to read, but I'm like 97% sure this says transmission incoming, which to me immediately says, hey, keep an eye out on this because there are going to be more teasers than just this appearing in the near future. Maybe in a few days' time, some audio will play if you hover over the classified bar. Maybe the blurriness and the static will give way to a less blurry image, or maybe something else entirely. But this is definitely a teaser that proves future teasers are coming soon. It's a teaser that's teasing more teasers. Okay then. I don't know about you guys though, but I'm really excited for this, and of course, we're going to be covering any and all teasers as soon as they appear. But getting into the next secret change, this one stems from the Mace Operator bundle that appeared in the store this week, as the Bludgeoner LMG blueprint in the bundle is very, very unique, let's just say. This blueprint actually has a dismemberment feature, so when you use it and shoot at the enemies, you will visually see it seems to do a lot more lethal damage, as it will literally rip apart other players. Now, the damage itself is not any better. It's not some game-changing weapon like this PKM does 10 times the damage. It's still the same damage at the end of the day. However, when you take out enemies, they will lose an arm or a leg or even a head in some cases, which, you know, is it's definitely a surprise if you didn't know it was coming. So if I had to guess, we'll probably start to see other weapon blueprints added into the store with unique features like this that are a bit lesser known. Anyways, the next hidden change that we've got occurs when you enter some vehicles, as now, especially on the TAC Rover and also the ATV I've noticed, the camera angle is a lot more zoomed in for some reason. And as you start to increase your speed, it'll then zoom out more towards the normal field of view, but when you first get into it, you don't really have a large angle to see around you at all. And same deal when you begin to slow down and ultimately come to a stop. So once again, a very weird change and one that I don't really understand. I feel like the camera angles were completely fine from my own experience, but regardless, it did end up changing. Then finally, one last change that we've got for today stems from Rust, specifically in Domination, as the A and B flags have actually swapped locations. Previously, the B flag was where the A flag is now, and vice versa, the A flag is where the B flag once stood. The C flag, though, was untouched. It was left out of this conversation, and apparently it gets a little sensitive about these things. But if you do play some Domination on Rust, you'll probably notice A and B are not the same as they once were when the map first released. So, with all of that being said, those are effectively all of the secrets and other hidden updates that were added into the game with the 1.15 patch here in Modern Warfare, and that is going to wrap things up for today. By all means, if you find any other secret changes, be sure to post those down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it, and of course, if you're new here and you want to stay up to date with the latest Call of Duty news and intel, updates and leaks, and pretty much everything else in between, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. That way you'll always know when I post a new video. As I mentioned earlier, the brand new guava flavor from G Fuel just released, so if you want to grab that or anything else from the site, be sure to use code IMMORTAL to get a nice little discount. And once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.